London, December 1952. The city woke expecting another cold winter morning. But when people looked outside, their world had disappeared. Streets vanished into darkness. Buildings faded into shadows. Cars stopped. Buses became lost. Even neighbors standing only a few steps away simply disappeared. At first, everyone thought it was just another fog. They had no idea that every breath they took was slowly becoming a death sentence. Long before the fog arrived, London was already living beneath a blanket of smoke. Coal powered nearly everything. Homes relied on coal-fired fireplaces to stay warm during the harsh English winters. Factories burned coal day and night to keep the city's industries alive. Steam locomotives carried passengers across the country, while power stations supplied electricity to millions. After the Second World War, Britain faced severe fuel shortages. Cleaner coal was often exported, leaving many Londoners to burn cheaper, lower-quality coal that produced far more smoke and sulfur. Thick soot rising from thousands of chimneys had become part of everyday life. Few imagined that these familiar clouds would soon become one of the deadliest environmental disasters in history. On the morning of December 5th, 1952, temperatures dropped sharply across southern England. A high-pressure weather system settled over London. Normally, warm air carries smoke upward into the atmosphere, but this time, a rare atmospheric temperature inversion trapped cold air close to the ground, sealing the city beneath a motionless lid of air. Smoke from homes, factory emissions, exhaust from vehicles, combined with natural fog. Hour by hour, the air grew darker. The sun disappeared. By afternoon, London itself seemed to vanish. Visibility fell to only a few meters. In some streets, people could barely see their own hands. Drivers abandoned their vehicles. Double-decker buses crawled through the darkness as conductors walked ahead, carrying flashlights to guide them. Trains slowed. Ambulances struggled to reach hospitals. River traffic along the Thames nearly stopped. Inside theaters, performances were cancelled because audiences could no longer see the stage through the dense fog that had seeped indoors. Police officers guided pedestrians by voice rather than sight. London had not lost electricity. It had simply been swallowed. But darkness wasn't the real danger. The air itself had become poisonous. Every breath carried microscopic particles of soot, sulfur dioxide, and acidic pollutants released by burning coal. Children struggled to breathe. Elderly residents collapsed inside their homes. Hospitals quickly filled with patients suffering violent coughing, chest pain, and respiratory failure. Doctors worked around the clock, yet they could do little except watch as more victims arrived each hour. For thousands of Londoners, the fog had become invisible poison. The deadly smog remained over London for 5 long days. Then, on December 9th, the weather finally changed. Wind swept across the city. Slowly, the fog lifted. Buildings emerged once again. Streets became visible. Life appeared to return to normal, but hospitals continued receiving patients. Many who had survived the fog died days or weeks later from severe respiratory complications. The disaster had only just begun to reveal its true cost. Initial reports estimated around 4,000 deaths, But decades of scientific research painted a far darker picture. Modern studies estimate that approximately 12,000 people lost their lives as a result of the Great Smog. More than 100,000 others became seriously ill. Livestock at London Smithfield Market suffocated. Birds fell from the sky. Pets struggled to breathe. One weather event had exposed how dangerous industrial pollution had become. Public outrage could no longer be ignored. Scientists investigated the disaster. Politicians were forced to act. In 1956, Britain passed the Clean Air Act. Smoke control zones were introduced. Cleaner fuels replaced dirty coal in many homes. The Great Smog transformed environmental policy around the world. Thousands had died. But their tragedy forever changed how cities thought about clean air. Today, London's skies are far clearer than they were in 1952. Yet millions of people around the world still live with dangerous levels of air pollution. History reminds us that not every disaster arrives with explosions, earthquakes, or war. Sometimes it arrives quietly, invisible, carried by the very air we breathe.
The story ends, but the mystery remains. Subscribe for dark history, tragedies, and unsolved mysteries.